Let's say you're working as an AI engineer at a US-based healthcare startup. Your team is tasked with developing an algorithm that can diagnose diseases in chest x-rays. Your company ties up with multiple hospitals in the area to get the chest x-ray dataset and gets it labeled by radiologists. Your team then trains and tests the model on this dataset, and the model seems to be doing pretty well. Until one day, your company decides to deploy this model in an hospital in India, where it doesn't seem to be working so well. What might have gone wrong? In this video, I'm reviewing a course called AI for Medical Diagnosis. It's first of the 3 courses in AI for Medicine specialization by deeplearning.ai. The course is taught by Pranav Rajpurkar and Andrew Ang. Pranav is an assistant professor at Harvard and has co-authored multiple papers on applications of AI in medicine. Andrew Ang is, well, Andrew Ang. The course has some prerequisites: familiarity with Python, especially NumPy, because the course assignment have a lot of NumPy vector operations. Deep learning, the course uses Keras, but if you have used PyTorch or Fast.ai before, you're good to go. Probability, because you'll be writing functions to compute loss. During week 1 of the course, you'll be building an algorithm to identify multiple diseases in chest x-rays, which is an image classification problem. Now, here's a disclaimer about this course. This is not a deep learning course. The course won't teach you how CNNs work, what is backpropagation, or how to pick the most optimal learning rate. Let me try to explain why I say so. The course has a lot of Jupyter Notebook based labs. This is one such lab. In the lab, you'll use a pre-trained DenseNet model for image classification. Now, there are no to-dos for you in this lab. The instructors just created the classification model for you, and you'll use this model as a black box without understanding what's happening under the hood. Here's a crazy idea though. You can still take this course if you want to learn deep learning. Think of this as a top-down course. You build the classifier without thinking about the model, but you know how to tweak the model by changing certain parameters. And along the way, you learn how to read in the dataset, how loss functions work, how to evaluate the model, etc., etc. Once you have figured out few pieces of the puzzle, it will all start to make sense. The other reason I really like this course is the quizzes. Though some of the questions can be answered easily if you have just watched the lectures, some questions do require you to recall the material and calculate values by hand. Week 1 also looks into some practical considerations while working on AI applications in medicine, working with imbalanced datasets and working with small datasets. For imbalanced datasets, that is datasets with images of one class outnumbering the other class, the class then talks about how you can tackle the imbalanced dataset problem with resampling. For small datasets, the class talks about data augmentation methods, transforming the images in a way that the original label is retained. Week 2 of the course is all about model evaluation. If you have implemented machine learning models before, you would already be familiar with most of the concepts taught in this week. False positives, false negatives, specificity, sensitivity, confusion matrix, and so on. I think the key takeaway from this week would be to identify what evaluation metric would be useful in a certain medical setting. For example, accuracy would almost always be a bad metric given low prevalence of a disease. Week 3 of the course is about image segmentation. Unlike image classification, where you are just trying to label an image segmentation is about identifying regions in the image that belong to a particular class. Given the MRI scans are 3-dimensional, you'll use an architecture called 3D-UNet. The 2D convolutions become 3D convolutions, the 2D pooling layers become 3D pooling layers. The data augmentation is also a little different for 3D volumes. You have to make sure that you apply the same transformations to the input and the output volumes. You'll use soft dice loss as the loss function here. The soft dice loss will measure the error between the ground truth and the prediction maps. Finally, you'll evaluate your MRI image segmentation model using metrics like sensitivity, specificity, etc. I really like this course. I think it had the right mix of theory and application. Please let me know if you liked my review of this course and if you have any other course that you would like me to review.